doing all these things and like to intro the podcast, but he won't hit record.
Yep.
Until it was all out of our system.
It's me? Yeah.
We have so many funny ways to start the podcast.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Would you like to repeat those?
No, I don't want to cough loudly into the mic. That would be disruptive to the viewers. So
Right.
no, I don't
Okay.
I don't want to.
All right.
I said I'd bring beer.
Oh, you did?
I brought a beer. For all of us to
Was
share.
there a fight over it? What do you brought one? What do you mean one?
Because, all right, so Left Hand Brewing, which is like my favorite brewery down here, they did this milk stout box, and they've got like double milk stout and s'mores and mint chocolate chip, and I wasn't expecting the mint chocolate chip to go well, but it was really, really good. But this is a mole milk stout. I don't know if you guys know what mole is. I barely know what mole is. It's like a sauce. It's not Hispanic. I think it's like Central American or something like that. It's fucking good, but it is an acquired taste. It's kind of got this bitter savoriness to it. It can be kind of cloying if you're not ready for it. But they made a fucking milk stout out of it, and I have 3 of them, and I wanted everybody to try it and see what they thought.
I see.
You get cups?
I'll
You
get
can
some
drink
cups.
out of the same bottle.
Oh.
No, you know what? Maybe that's not the best idea. You know, what if
Alright.
one of us is sick?
Yeah, how would we know?
Well, we would know pretty soon after passing around this bottle. I guess it's while Casey gets cups, it's a DBZ cast.
Why? You watching it?
No.
I haven't. I literally was not watching like the past 6 years when we were talking about it.
No, I know.
That was all like 5-6 years ago and done. Okay.
Yeah, that was all off the dome.
That was it.
Oh, okay, hell yeah. All right.
Where'd you get these yellow cups? Where the
Never-
hell
I
did
have
you
never
find yellow?
seen these in my entire life in this
You
house.
have your own stash of yellow cups?
Yeah, where the fuck did these come from?
Don't ask about my yellow cups.
I'll ask all.
Spill.
I'm not gonna spill.
Just imagine
As if I'll be the first one
Jimmy
to spill on
pouring
this
like
table.
a complete dumbass. Just
That's what I
Every
literally
day
what
all
I'm
around the
doing.
cup.
Oh,
That was close.
mostly on the table, not even in a cup.
It's like all foam. Sorry, I really poured very bad.
Yeah,
You're supposed
it's
to, like-
obvious you've never
You're
been a
supposed
bartender.
to-
I thought you were supposed to do the
I
thing.
know how to do it. You're supposed to hold. Yeah, you're supposed to tilt the cup and hold the spout, but I'm just like, I don't
But we're
fucking
not
care.
special.
It's in a bottle.
But we're not special.
Hey, that's the podcast. Who gives a shit?
Oh, yeah, because we're not special.
All right,
You
so
guys are very
so all at
special.
once.
This is
All at
cheers
once?
to my very special boys. Cheers.
Oh, the shit. You almost
Cheers.
dropped that.
All right,
My
get
grip's
through
not
the
best.
foam. Oh,
This tastes like a beer.
No, I see the aftertaste. I see it.
it's almost
I've had a jalapeno beer before.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's like a jalapeno, but it's almost like it is almost cinnamony. Like it approaches
Almost.
cinnamony.
I see. But yeah, that's why I'm getting the jalapeno.
This actually isn't that bad. This is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I love mole, but when I saw it was like a stout, I'm like, oh, I don't know about
It's
that.
one of those things where it tastes like. It's one of those things where literally they're just distinctive flavors, so it doesn't feel like a holistic drink. It's just like I taste the milk stout and I taste the jalapeno.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like, they don't
Are
feel
there
together.
jalapenos in mole? I don't remember.
I'm getting like a.
Oh, well, here it is. Savory and sweet with a unique spice blend featuring cinnamon, chili, and cocoa powder.
Okay, you're right. It's more of a cinnamon.
Because it is like chocolate. It's, you know what? This is really growing on me. It's growing on me pretty fast. You said it tastes like a beer,
Yeah.
which I guess is better than it tastes like, sauce I'd put on a taco.
Yeah, I mean, if it tasted just like the sauce, then that'd be pretty disappointing.
It would be pretty bad.
since you
if
brought
it
a
tasted
beer.
just like the yeah.
This tastes like a
Yes,
beer.
You
with
you,
a lot
you put
more
soy
notes to
sauce
it.
in a beer
Yeah,
can
it has a lot to
and
it.
then just messed with us. Yeah, and you're like, how's this beer?
I'm pouring
that's
it.
just soy
Mole sauce is like thick, so I'm like, all right, let me pour this beer. I'm not drinking that fucking beer. I'm not drinking whatever he brought. That's a bad batch. That's a bad batch of beer. This is really good. Wow, I am very pleasantly
Fine.
surprised. I'm very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
Not
it's
a fan?
fine. No, it's just my body's reacting to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's why he's getting so red.
Am I?
I think it's just the lighting.
Anthony gets
It is
super
just
red.
lighting.
And you're wearing a blue shirt. There's blue lighting. So
Well, I'm also tan. It
Yeah.
doesn't look like it. Very tan.
You're swole too. Let me feel those. Flex for me. Yeah.
I'm lean. I'm not swole.
Yeah, but you're you still got the.
I look like
you
I'm
got
swole.
muscles. You do. You look built.
My family's always like, "You working out?" I'm like, "Nope."
How am I doing? You work out for your job every day.
Yeah, you're more fit than I am.
I am not more fit than you are. That is for damn sure. I'm getting toned, but I'm not fit. I'm not in shape even. I am a shape.
Yeah, that's probably right. I'm probably more in shape.
Yeah, because you do physical labor all damn day.
Yeah.
And you look good doing it, might I add.
We like to have fun here.
So what's been mulling in your head all week?
What have you been mulling over?
I've been thinking a lot about Vampire. In all
you've
its
been running
different
that.
forms. Yeah. So I released basically it's like, I liked doing the Vampire the Masquerade LARP, like the live action role play. But the problem was you're trying to do like, oh, it's a live action role play, but the rule book is like 500 pages. And it's still like, oh, it's also, we're like acting, we're characters. But if I dumped all the XP in my character, I still win. So I was like, there is a form of LARP that's called Nordic LARP, which is supposed to be a lot more like no mechanics, just very holistic and stuff. But I also still want to play a game. So I wrote Blood In, Blood Out. It's a parlor game, quote unquote, for Vampire. It's like 30 pages. Half of that's character creation and some front matter and back matter. And we've been playtesting it in my Monday group, and it's been people are really, really liking it.
You mean you tested it once? Because it sounds like this is super recent.
I've done it twice.
Oh, okay.
And each set time we've gone over when we usually do. It's insane how immediately people get into the politics. I've noticed, and I feel this way about like games that I've been and stuff. When the players are like, because it creates this situation where as a storyteller, I just kind of supervise. I kind of adjudicate things and throw things in, but it's mostly the players just fucking each other up and stabbing each other in the back.
Yeah.
And we've gotten a lot of mileage out of the bat, and that's with 7 people. I have the potentiality to run one with about 18 or 20. So it's gonna get crazy.
Yeah.
So that'll really be a good trial run for that, for sure. But I'm looking forward to that. I really am, and I'm sure I want to get y'all in it at some point too. It's very fascinating. A lot of conniving. Like I kind of wanted to. The whole design point was like, as I was designing it and we were taking notes and we were talking about it and it was getting tighter and tighter. It was like I wanted it to be where the blood, the scarcity of blood is like real. So that's what Vampire the Masquerade is basically about. Is it's like, blood is a resource that's kind of hard to get. Even though, like, it takes I think it's for every 100,000 mortals, one vampire can feed reliably and safely, but you have way more than that. You know what I mean? So it's like packed into a city. So it's like, how do you divvy that up? What are the power struggles that come with that? But, like, I was trying to make it to where every choice you make leads into another choice. You're never coming out on top. Like, even, like, healing between sessions, it's kind of like, all right, what stuff do I heal? I know I'm not getting all the way to full, which means next time I need to do something specific to avoid getting in a fight, or I need to do something specific to avoid spending blood, and then having all these mechanics say, yeah, but you are going to fight. Yeah, but you are going to spend blood, and just making it this, like, pressure cooker of needs. You know what I mean? Like, of just making it to where, I was talking to someone else about it, because he was talking about the hero system, and I was like, the hero system's cool. I mean, it's got some good mechanics or whatever, but, like, I like it when a game does that, where it's like every choice you make feeds into, like, 10 other things from a, like, system standpoint. You know what I mean? Like, I need to make choices to get blood, but all those choices are going to affect other things, and eventually I don't want to make these choices, but I can't. I have to make these choices. And then sticking 20 people into a room and having them make all those choices, the game just fucking runs itself. Yeah. It's really, really cool. So I've been doing that. I update all the stuff on Plug and Plover. I published that. Things have been really fruitful.
Cool.
Yeah. Reminds me a lot of Kingdoms.
Yeah.
I would say that's what's the closest you guys have ever think you've gotten to an experience like that, where it's all. I hesitate to say PvP because that implies that it's like we're all against each other. But when you're at a point where your schemings as a player has a direct and immediate result and everything else, like it doesn't have to be filtered through a third party in order to make something happen. You know what I mean?
I see, yeah.
Because I would say Kingdoms does a pretty good job of that, and we all have played Kingdoms.
Yep.
Yeah,
Played Kingdom.
that or Dogs in the Vineyard. That's a PvP game.
Yeah.
Yep.
If it's not fun.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because it's all these beliefs. Like, because I feel like PvP implies that, again, I feel like PvP implies that it's like, oh, we are all at the outset not allies. We are enemies. Whereas, you know, I feel like, I don't know how to, I guess it's an intrigue game. And I would say Dogs in the Vineyard is like an intrigue game. It's like, we're not, we are not out to get each other, but we all do have beliefs that conflict.
Yeah.
And the question is, how can we resolve those differences? Can we resolve those differences and still attain our, like, end goal?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not quite PvP, but it usually does devolve into that.
Our Burning Wheel game was pretty PvP.
That did get very PvP.
Yeah.
What was funny about that is it was like a pressure cooker situation, and it was almost like everyone was waiting for someone to throw the first punch, or maybe less that, but like somebody was waiting to feel justified to throw the first punch. I think you were one of the people. That
I was the first punch every time.
You were.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's good to have an instigator in a game like that. It's good to have someone who's like, all right, and we're going to set this pendulum swinging, and now
I mean, because I
game.
was outside of the island, and then everyone was in the island, so they're the status quo, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every point of this extension was like, what's the point?
It's great because he was
true.
completely justified in every single thing he brought up.
I was the good guy.
And
again.
we're like,
You were the good guy
"Boo!"
again.
I was still
Yeah,
the
we were like-
main character.
He spoke the truth, and they hated him for it.
pretty much.
Yeah. That, I mean, it's funny because I want to say, like, fuck you for being like, yo, I'm the good guy again. I'm right again. But I mean, you are. Because from your character's perspective, from everybody else's perspective, it's like, God is on my side or whatever. From your perspective, it's like, this is an island full of crazy people.
Yep.
Yep, but I'm here to bring it back.
Yeah. How'd that work out for you?
It was going to work out pretty good. Because I was, by that time, Giacomo was going to be breaking him out.
That makes sense.
Because I played every side in that game.
You did. You truly did. That's what's so beautiful. So playing every side, I think part of the reason why it's great to not necessarily have to filter everything through a third party. And again, you did this in a game that had a GM. Like, I was GMing that game.
Yeah.
But, like, to have a game where... Because every game I've started off with a 30-minute scheming block. Anybody can go anywhere in the house and talk to anyone about anything. And people would make plans for the session. And then it's like the session begins and immediately it was like, yeah, I was lying. I do this. And it's just like everyone's taking out knives. Everyone's stabbing each other in the back. So the ability to play all sides and then experience the immediate benefits of doing that, or also the immediate everybody wanting to kill you of doing that.
Yeah.
The stuff we were experiencing in Burning Wheel, but like way faster. Because there's not as much of a procedure.
Yeah.
The procedures are for resolving certain things, but everything else is just talking. You know what I mean? Everything else is just social wit and maneuvering. Like fucking Death Note, some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The island was definitely one of the Burning Wheel game was definitely Sound and Fury, that's what I called it.
Mm-hmm.
Was definitely one of the things that I was thinking about when I was thinking about like how do I want this game to feel?
Yeah.
You know, how do I want this to happen? And yeah, everyone basically being wrong in the sense that they're basing it completely on their subjective needs and then just being like, yeah, I am going to commit to that hell or high water. Maybe old Luke Crane was onto something. The whole belief thing.
Do the people do they bring costumes or anything for your Monday night, or do they wear cloaks or anything?
I wish.
Yeah, it's still. I was gonna say like your neighbors will just be like every Monday there's like 10 people with cloaks that come in and yell at each other and then they leave.
10 dudes with cloaks come in and yell at each other.
Because you said like 18 people, and if you're doing it at your house, it'd be just like
it wouldn't
18 people show up, and the neighbors just like sitting there. And it's just a nice hot day. They're just sitting outside, and then 2 hours later, people just yelling at each other, and they're all in cloaks, and they're wearing cloaks, and sometimes they go outside and talk to each other in secret, and then go back inside, and then the neighbor's like, every Monday.
Yeah, I mean, basically, like, I have, like, so the Monday group, including me, consists of, like, 8 people, I think, right now. So it is pretty sizable, and when people are scheming, there are some people who stand out front, like, in front of the door, and, like,
they
just,
do,
like,
okay.
talking to each other. But it's usually chill, and they're all, like, smoking, using vape pens or something, so at least they have an excuse. But for the 18 to 20 person one, I can't do it at my house. That's too much, honestly.
Yeah, you would.
So what we're gonna do, because I've run a LARP before. This is not the first time I've done this. I've designed a LARP from the ground up. I ran a LARP at a game store, and we were embarrassingly not very subtle about it. It was really good, fond memories, great game. A lot of the lore from Trackmarks came from there, actually. But yeah, basically I was like, it was embarrassingly not very subtle. So this time the idea is, go run it at like a game store or something. But like, in Vampire there's this concept called the Masquerade where you can't let mortals know that you're that vampires exist. So if you show up to this game in like fucking eyeshadow and start LARPing like some Count Chocula type shit, I'm going to come up and be like, you're dead. They found you and they
don't
killed
have goth
you.
Clubs. They don't have goth clubs in the Masquerade.
Well, I mean, that's actually, yes. So when the game came out in the 90s, it was being played at like goth clubs and shit.
Right, so it's just a goth club.
But it's too loud. The only goth nights that we have are like the one down here, which is really small and really loud. One up in Denver, which is big and loud. And then another one up in Denver, which is bigger and louder.
Just do it outside in the parking lot. There's 10 people with cloaks in the parking lot.
See, I also want to avoid... There's another thing about Vampire the Masquerade LARPs I want to avoid, and that's that. That's the bunch of nerds with fangs and mandatory cloaks.
What's the difference of normal goth club?
Yeah.
I was about to be like, how dare you? Like, what the fuck? But no, you're right.
I mean, people just having fun. There's nothing wrong with that.
You're right.
From the outside perspective...
all I'm saying is, like, if I'm not renting a space that's like, all right, if we don't have a space that's like specifically for that, then you would want to blend in with that space. One, because you want to keep being allowed to use this space. You don't want to be fucking asked to leave or anything like that. And two, because it's also just kind of like disrespectful. Not even necessarily that it's embarrassing. It's that, which it is. But it's like, if we're using the space, we have to share it with other people. We can't be going full fucking.
I was just talking to my brother-in-law, and because he does karate, and I was watching him get a black belt, and I said, "Wow, this is the lamest thing I've ever seen. Everyone in this room could kick my ass.
Everyone in this room could kick my ass.
Yeah,
that's the lamest thing I've ever seen.
Was there a semicolon separating those statements?
That's what I said. I was like,
"This is the lamest I've ever seen. Everyone could kick my ass."
That's what I'm saying. Karate, looking at it, is so lame. But it's very practical.
Yeah.
No, martial arts is just overall kind of.
But he was getting black belt with a whole bunch of kids, and I was like, man, I could probably kick those kids' ass. But probably they don't know. They've been learning.
They'll use my weight against me. They'll throw me.
And he was like, "Yeah, I agree."
On both counts.
What? I could kick the kid's ass?
That it was lame, but also that everyone could kick your ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you told him. So he got his black belt. You were there attending a ceremony, and then you go over to him and was like, "Yeah, this sucks. Get yeah, you guys are fucking lame."
I was talking to one of the friends, and then the day later when we were celebrating, he got a black belt. I was just like, you know what? Yeah, karate is one of the lamest things to watch. It is. And when you do it, you feel lame, but it's good for you.
Try watching Taekwondo.
I felt like when I was doing karate, I was lame. I liked doing it.
I did Taekwondo I also got my black belt. I did Taekwondo for a very long time.
I watched Taekwondo. Just watching someone trying to hit a board that's way too damn high to begin with.
Yep. 100%.
That's what I'm saying goth club is.
And when they do it, you're like, wow, that's exciting. But you're like, oh, but that's what I expected, though.
Yeah, but also what else did I... You realize that this is lame, but what else did I think it was going to be? Did I think I was going to walk and it was going to be like fucking Kung Fu Hustle?
Yeah.
Like people, like using like their chi to fucking like blow buildings away?
Yeah, goth club is like you walk up and it's like a random
I mean, that's why
day,
why they break boards, because... The board might break different.
What?
You can now get boards that you can just
the reassembled
ones.
ones.
True. Yeah, they do have those.
A lot of it, but they were hitting these plastic.
But there's nothing like breaking the wood ones. The plastic ones are supposed to get you ready for the wood ones.
Yeah,
which is
it's
great.
nice.
It kicks ass. It does feel good to go cool and just fucking break wood, but it's also like whatever.
When did you get your black belt?
I was like fucking 15, 16, I think.
That was just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or 20, depending on how you're counting.
Who's counting?
Who's counting? But hang on, I do take umbrage with the fact that it's like, you're like, yeah, karate's so lame. These people in their gis and their dumbbells and ceremonies. Yeah, it's like a goth club. It's like, are you putting?
I think that's a 1-to-1.
Are you?
We both did karate.
Yeah,
and we both go to goth clubs.
We did.
Yes,
it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm saying it's the same.
I'm not denying it.
You're doing your katas.
Yeah.
Every time you get there, you're doing your katas.
Oh my God! Some of the fucking
you
people
bow
on those
to-
dance floors.
You bow to Sensei Satan. You know what's the difference?
Yeah.
Some of the people who go out on the dance floors at like a god night do look like they're doing a form out there, and it's like, dude, just keep your fucking arms in. Come on, man. Like,
Yeah, you're like, dude, straighten up your form. This is awful.
you know what I mean? I go to a lot of things too that could be, you know, I don't.
Same thing with Goth Club. Everyone could probably kick my ass. It's the same thing. Big ass dudes with like real like skimpy
like
makeup.
the Crow.
Yeah, I'm like, that guy probably can kick my ass. But it looks like I can kick his ass.
But it looks like he
Same
looks
thing
like
with
a
karate.
fucking nerd. But look, I do want to say it's like, because I also do embarrassing, cringy shit that I'm very proud of. No, I don't.
No.
Your eyes are telling a different story. But what I'm saying is, I am not making fun of any of these people. Well, I am. But
That's
I'm
what
also
I'm
making
saying.
fun of you. Are
That's what I'm saying. What else would it be?
Man,
are you gaslighting the audience?
I'm trying to qualify all of this to make us sound better, and I'm just like, look, we're just all in good fun. You're like, nope. Like, no.
But what? That's gaslighting. Because I am making fun of them. What? How else do you want to interpret it?
You know what? I don't know anymore. I don't know why I'm bothering to help you save face.
What's the point of saving face? A whole bunch of goth karate people are going to fight me?
Yeah, the Crow. Brendan Lee. Yeah.
You're going to see like a 400 audience show, and that's just a crowd of angry mob?
I cannot wait. In the future, we have a live show. We sell out the Laugh Factory. And then all of these people in like vampire costumes and karate gis. They're the only ones in the audience. They're going to kick our asses.
Episode though.
I do think that's funny though. If you have people that have like full goth makeup, but then they're just wearing a white gi, and there's 40 of them.
That's what I'm saying. It is.
And then they start running at you. Yeah, I'm gonna run.
Hold on. I have a question. Before you kick my ass, I have a question. Did you put on the gi before you did the makeup, or did you put on the makeup?
If they put on the gi before they did the makeup, and that gi is pure white, I'm running.
Yeah.
They got some amount of accuracy that's never seen before.
That is like, they're going to be able to do the fucking Kill Bill Pai Mei rip my fucking eye out thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're going to have that level of accuracy. Which came first, the makeup or the gi?
Yeah, that would be very true. Yeah. There's some pretty buff people at goth clubs.
There are.
They're just like, geez,
Oh,
you look really lame, but. I mean, you ever walk in a room and say, like, kindergartners, like, I could kick all their ass?
I don't tend to walk into a room and immediately survey who could kick my ass.
You don't work
and
in
whose
trade.
ass I could kick.
Is that how
Fair.
trade works?
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what?
like, if I need to get out of here, that kid's going down. That's usually.
You gotta. It's how trade work is. After you finish trade school and you're in the trade, you go to the site and you find the biggest tradesman that you can beat up, and then
You be
beat him
friends
up.
with them. Yeah, you don't want to fight.
No,
them.
you be friends with him. You be friends with him. You don't want to fight him. You want to beat up the little guy.
Yeah. You want to be. Yeah, you want to show dominance.
Show dominance. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna all show up to Dungeons and Javas in goth makeup and gis, and then pretend to be vampires. And if anybody says to leave the store, then we kick their ass.
Yeah, because you
pummel
were
them to
like,
death.
well, that's so lame. But yeah, you're right. The geese would really put them off.
Yeah.
It's like, are you vampires? And then they go, we're wearing geese.
Wait a minute. That's just they're just gonna look like Mac as the Nightman.
Yeah.
True.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
That's true.
100%. But that's so okay. Patrick could tell us all about this. So there was a vampire LARP up in Parker, and they did it on like the main street. And the idea was, like, at night, and the idea was, because it's bustling, like, there's some small shops, there's a park and whatever, and the idea was that it's like, hey, because we're out in public, we need to not breach the masquerade, and we can't let people know about this thing of ours, you know, we need to keep it on the down low. And I mentioned that to my parents, and I mentioned that to my parents, and my parents were like, oh yeah, you mean all the weird goth vampire dudes that just hang out on Main Street every once in a while? And I'm like, holy fucking shit. Because I didn't realize how unsubtle they were being, and I don't think they did either. Because I immediately called Patrick, like, Patrick! And I'm like, no, it's fucked. And he's like, that's hilarious.
Like, well, it's the same thing when, like, in the Matrix, they enter into the Matrix, and they're like, oh man, the agents found us. How'd they find us so quick? You're the only people in full leather jackets wearing sunglasses all day long. You look like
you just walked out of a fetish club. It's pretty easy to spot you. You're wearing platform boots that give you 7 inches on everyone else in the street.
Yeah.
You're wearing shades. It's nighttime. That's another thing that narrows it down. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a good. Wait,
so we're gonna do that. That's what's gonna happen. This could be great.
So your parents saw them?
Yeah. Apparently, everybody in the whole fucking town saw them.
Because they do it weekly.
They used to. It was like a monthly thing.
But then they got masqueraded.
Well, no, because so it's funny because the storyteller in that one was like, if you break the masquerade, then your character dies. Like if you are obviously doing it, everyone pegged them immediately. So it's like, people were still showing up like dressed like their characters. Like, you know, you have a group of people in the corner that look like they belong to some sort of like theater troupe or whatever. It's like, no, dude, if you're actually getting in lore, if you're like, all right, you were a vampire in this world and you're going to a game store, you don't show up in like a fucking like, graphic tee and cargo shorts. That's it. I'm going to tell you to leave. I'm going to tell you you're dead. Like, what are you talking about? You don't show up here looking like some weird motherfucker.
Yeah, so the LARP is supposed to be, you're actually supposed to be also doing the masquerade and doing it in masquerade in the game too.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Just sounds like the same thing when I was a kid and I was hanging around some other kids at a buffet and they all decided to pretend to be thieves. And we would go up and we'd pretend to steal food from the free buffet. And then people would notice us and they'd be like, oh, honey, you could have a few more rolls. And we'd be like, damn, they got us.
I actually fucking love that. Like, sketchily taking food from the free. Look at her, I'm like, oh, yeah.
It was
jamming rolls in your
jacket. Really silly.
That actually kicks ass.
Fun as a kid, yeah.
That's funny.
And it felt real.
I should say too that like the reason why I also in Blood in Blood Out I call a parlor game because it's not a LARP. Nobody's gonna be costumed, nobody's gonna be doing their fucking character voices. It's just but you can't call it a TTRPG. It's not a tabletop RPG because we're not 6 dudes around a table with dice and the storyteller. But it's not a LARP because we're not all doing voices and in costumes. It's like somewhere in. It's like a Victorian parlor game.
I was gonna say, did everyone peg those people because they're all trying to do British accents?
I guarantee they were all trying to do some sort of voice,
That's like,
and that
I've
also
seen
pegged them.
Masquerade videos online, and I'm like, God, I'm so bored.
It's like actual plays of like the tabletop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they're fucking boring.
I'm like,
as hell.
yeah, it'd be fun to be in it, but it's people like going. Yeah, there's one that it was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk, and I'm gonna talk to you, and then there'd be like 2 people, and it'd be like 3 hours, and they're like, oh, look at what my character's doing. Oh, I'm doing this, and it's slow. Yeah, they're all doing British voices, and it's just like,
that sounds like it fucking sucks.
I'm like, I'm sure it's fun to play in them, but who videotapes Vampire the Masquerade?
Right. No, I've seen pretty much every single Vampire Let's Play I've seen. There was one, LA by Night, that was running for a bit. It was like, they even had Matt Mercer on there at one point, I think. And like the first season was fun. and the shtick worked because I think they were all like professional like voice actors and stuff, and so they were able to like play up all the darkness and make it interesting.
Yeah.
But then there would literally be entire episodes where none of the players were there, and it was all just like other actors they pulled in to play like the princes in the region. They just talked at each other, and I'm like, I really don't care anymore. Like, I really don't give a shit. And that's the thing is like in Blood In, Blood Out, when people were off talking, it wasn't like, yes, what are you doing this
That's what my assumption of Empire
No, it
is.
was like, it was literally like Patrick would have like, hey, I told him that we were going to fuck you up. Do you want to fuck him up instead? And I'm going like, hell yeah. Like, that's literally it.
That
like,
makes way more sense of a masquerade. Because, there's people in cloaks having British accents in the middle of the Midwest. I mean, I wonder if, exactly, they're a theater troupe.
There is a guy across the street from us. So me and Patrick went to Walmart. And we saw this guy, and he is, like, younger than us, clearly, but, like, also taller than us. Dude was, like, huge. And he was in, like, you remember... Oops. I'm probably going to have to bleep that out. Who's...
Oh, man.
That's a very vague name.
That's like...
Why does that matter?
There could be so many...
Whoops.
Cloak...
Yikes!
Stool! Cloak kid! Cape kid!
Oh.
Yeah! Yeah.
Oh,
it was
that was
like
his thing?
that. It was like dude was in a Naruto headband. Dude was in like wood sandals. Dude was in the fucking cloak. All that shit. Walking around Walmart. We're like, wow, look at that. That's crazy. And then didn't think anything more of it. We got home. Right across the street, guy's getting out of a car. Guy's getting out of his parents' car, walking inside. We are like, oh my God. So now that we know, I don't know if he's been doing this whole time, but now that we know he's here, we can't help but notice him like standing out in the driveway with a katana, observing the neighborhood and shit like that. Like, and it's
Jesus,
like,
we're back in the 80s.
It's crazy. It is
so
like
how old
amazing.
is this possible person?
What do you mean possible person?
I meant, how old would this person be?
Go back. Don't just what did you mean possible? You think I'm lying?
I don't know why I said possible. I just meant
Okay.
I just didn't want to be like completely identifying the person.
Oh, sure. Yeah, well, we're not identifying the person.
Yeah, not
I made a boo-boo.
fuck.
No.
You know, quit
How-
saying that because I have to beep out his name every
Why?
time.
It doesn't make any sense.
It does make... yeah, no, I'm not going to just drop some motherfucker's name like that.
It's not a
You're not going to be able to beep it out because I already said
Undo.
there's only one name that goes with that.
I'll beep out the whole fucking thing.
Anyways,
this is going to be like
how
another
old-
Hanzo episode.
How old is this person supposed to be?
They look like they're in their early 20s, but they might be like high school.
I'm gonna say
honestly.
if they're like mid-20s or late, that guy's making six figures.
Yeah.
Making a six figure.
The worst nerdy people are making bank.
Yeah, that's true. It's usually true.
You're like, wow, that person doesn't have a holy shit. And he gets in his Ferrari and he's just like,
That guy can't kick my ass,
Look.
but he sure can buy it.
That's what I'm saying.
If that guy rolls up in front of his house and the car's got like fucking suicide doors, and he steps out
That's what I'm
wearing
saying.
like the fucking full shit, I'd be like, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
You know, he's allowed.
The funny thing about your story is because of what you said the previous times, I imagine you driving home with the Model T, and then you see it, and then he has his suicide doors open, and you're just maintaining your Model T.
I'm trying to crank my Model T.
Yeah, because now I only see you in that anymore.
Thank God I don't drive a Model T. Might as well with the gas prices the way they are. Ooh.
Yeah.
Is this your attempted observational comedy?
It is my attempted observational comedy.
That
This whole
was- that was
entire
my-
podcast is observational comedy.
That was my attempted observational comedy. So I was observing the fact that you attempted that comedy. I
Let's
thought
change
mine
the
was
subject.
funnier.
Let's change the subject. To keep it on vampire, Emily told you that the vampire game is medieval, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't realize that you had a concept that relied on it not being medieval.
I never had a concept.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you
didn't.
sure? Okay. Nothing to do with turtles? Nothing
That's
like
not
that?
a concept.
Turtles
That's
attack.
copycatting a character. That wasn't even well conceptualized to begin with.
wasn't
With
even
how it was
well-
done in the live action movies.
That was like an embryo of a concept. It wasn't
Yeah.
even a full concept yet. Yeah.
You were gonna be a Ninja Turtle?
Yeah, I was mad. I was gonna be a Ninja Turtle.
I don't know. I don't
See,
know
because that's what I thought. Like, everyone else will show up in dark capes, but I'll show up in a full prosthetic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle getup. And they'll look, and the thing is, I would work because no one would look at the Ninja Turtle and go, "That must be a vampire." Yeah, so I'd never break the masquerade.
It's no. The fact that people are even looking at you is the problem. In fact, you'd be the only one to break. You would soak the masquerade breach because everyone in the games would be like, "Who the fuck is that?" and not at all looking at all the weird dudes wearing cloaks around the board games.
Oh, so exactly, I'm the tank.
You're the tank. I don't think that parlance applies to something like a masquerade breach. I don't think you could just tank masquerade. It's like the guy in Breaking Bad who goes to jail for Walt. Like he keeps going back to prison over and over again.
Oh, yeah,
it looks he takes the rap for people. That's you. That's you in Vampire. You've been staked uncountable times.
Yeah, but they got to stab through the suit, and this is a real expensive suit.
This is a big old foam, like a live action movie, like the foam.
Oh no, it's daytime.
Suit.
I'm in a suit.
You know what? Like, I love the idea of because some people in the like actual like vampire like parlor LARPs and stuff did do like meme builds like that.
Oh yeah,
and I like the idea of a meme build where it's like, yeah, I can go out in the sun because I wear this suit. It actually gives you a 5 dots in fortitude, so you can actually go out in sunlight. Yeah. But you're just like, yeah, it's this suit, and like, no, it's not. Well, then explain this. Like,
I had a dungeon master on an online role playing game pull me aside because I built my character with a helmet instead of a head, and he said that was not allowed. Because I have to be able to remove the helmet. I'm like, well, lore wise, it's bolted into my neck. So you want to get a wrench, buddy?
It's screwed into your collarbone. Like.
Yeah, I was there when you.
What is this? I can't make.
Neverwinter Nights.
Neverwinter Nights, like the fucking computer game.
Yeah. Not the MMO, the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the old game.
I thought you were talking about like this happened, like you were playing for someone else at like the streaming stuff that you do.
No,
and I was gonna be like, well, then I can't make fun of this person, right? Because that
would
be okay.
No, that would have been a long time ago.
Yeah,
I was probably
I'd always get DMs showing up for the characters I built.
Yep.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I live for your fucking characters. They're great. And your characters.
They show up to try to ban him.
Yeah.
That happened almost every time.
That's amazing.
The one time I was serious about a character, then it died.
Is that how you figured out how to make such interesting characters? Is ban evading?
Kinda.
That was.
I don't think he's gotten banned from it, but yeah.
Yeah, it never happened.
Right. So you successfully evaded all the bans.
The only ban I could have gotten is the elf. The elf that was too big.
Yeah, your elf. He made an elf that. So there's this armor type. The armor model. So for Neverwinter Nights, there was a normal character model and then a fat version of the character model. You could either be normal or fat, basically. And so Matt made a fat elf. But then he chose an armor that its crafting style didn't have an option for the fat phenotype. So he'd put it on and he'd look slim. And he'd be role-playing and be like, people would be like, all right, we're going to go into the session. He'd be like, all right, I got to change off my armor. And then immediately he would just bulge out from it. Like he would grow instantaneously. And then people would be like, are you okay? And then he'd not acknowledge it.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I would basically be like, oh, man, I'm just... and then it just pop out.
It was the best thing.
Like the magic armor is enchanted to be like a girdle.
Yeah,
like it's a magic girdle.
That's how. Yeah,
all
your
fat. Like,
strong.
Which
girdle.
the thing is, I was pretty sure it was supposed to just be 2 phenotypes, but they just messed. One looked regularly proportioned, and then the other looked like you just threw putty onto the character.
Just morbidly obese
in every single,
yep.
even the fingers, like.
Yeah, it was great.
There's no in between.
I was playing guts, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Forward that.
That fucking kicks ass. So you're just as bad as he is. You also learn how to get your characters.
That was like the only one.
Because your characters
it was
are
also
cool
built
too.
horribly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he just does it on instinct. I will methodically plan things out,
right?
So that if questions are raised, I have the answers.
I really didn't have anything else.
For Matt, when questions are raised, he just raises better questions.
Yeah, exactly. What is a question?
Well, because people are like, that's absurd. You're like, why is it absurd?
Yeah, why is it absurd?
You
I'm already an elf.
You immediately reverse Uno card. What's wrong with being fat?
I don't think I played that character long enough.
Yeah,
I messed up the build for a paladin.
Well,
I built strength.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No wisdom, no charisma, so he couldn't use any of his class features.
No, that's the fucking true paladin. Is the paladin who is not blessed by their deity, but they still fully commit themselves to their deity. They act like a paladin but aren't one. That's
it's
genius.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And then the Nesbars.
Yeah.
Gnome group we had very shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Neverwinter.
I really miss like an era with the fucking Baldur's Gate games and all that. So I just played so much Final Fantasy.
Did you?
Which
ones?
I have played all of the numbered ones except the MMOs up through 13. So I've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you haven't played the remake stuff? No, I'm not a big action RPG guy. So like when they put the person who did like Kingdom Hearts in charge of like 15, I'm like, uh-oh. And then it was just like, an action art, like a fucking button smashing type of thing. And I'm like, this isn't really my thing. I want my gauges. I want my gauges that fill up and then go boodink. And then I'm like, oh, I get to attack. I want that.
Break points.
Yeah, I want that shit.
You played all of them?
I've played.
So you like the Game Boy ones too?
The Game Boy remasters is how I did.
So
1
you
and 2
played
and 3, 4, 5, and 6.
1, 2, 5, 6, 4.
Why are the numbers out of order?
It's not out of order. Actually, he was doing a +2 subtract 1. He was
doing
a very good
Fibonacci
rule.
sequence.
Yeah.
Final Fibonacci.
I mean,
Fibonacci Fantasy.
I'm just making sure. If you play them all, then it shouldn't matter what the order is, right?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But why?
Why
It
what?
doesn't.
Yeah.
But why that order?
I've built this TTRPG system to be exponential. So everyone starts with a +1, and then after round 3, it's +1,453.
Sounds like it just fails immediately.
It's bonded though, so it all scales.
It all scales. So everyone's just dealing zillions of damage to each other, not doing anything.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the numbers going up. That's all I need. No. I play. Look, all I'm saying is,
what's the first one you played?
The first Final Fantasy that I played was 10.
So you played out of order.
Yes, but the order doesn't matter.
Oh, now it doesn't matter.
But when you're listing them off, why are you doing it sequentially?
So you played 10, then you played 7.
So here's the order. Here's the order of Final Fantasies I played in.
Okay.
I literally went backwards. I went 10, 9, 8, 7, and then I went 12, and then I did 4, 1, 2, 5, 6, 3, and then I did 13. I was at the midnight release of 13.
Sounds like what I just said.
It does sound like what you just said, and I hate it.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. I hate that you're right. But I've also played all of them. So I played 10-2, I played 13-2 and 13-3. I really like the 13 series. My favorite's 12, though. Final Fantasy 12 is by far my favorite. One of the things I really like about it is the voice actors. Instead of getting... Because it's one of the games that takes place in Ivalice, which is where Tactics takes place, which is very much this like kind of Renaissance era, like kind of high medieval feeling sort of thing.
Yeah.
Instead of getting professional voice actors, they got theater actors to do all the lines, and it really adds like
probably
a certain
wake
feeling
up more.
to it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Everything
actors.
is overacted and it rocks.
It's better than most games. Yeah. Where it's like
yeah.
everything's super quiet. You go turn it up, turn it down, turn it up, turn it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I fucking love Final Fantasy. I'm pretty sure that's how I got. Look, the first time I played an online game, I was 16. I didn't actually play.
Whoa.
I played Halo a lot, but it was all local multiplayer and campaign.
I was
like,
8, and my dad handed me Neverwinter Nights, and he's like, "This is D&D, which you don't know about, and I don't have time to explain to you. But have fun. Just don't go online." And as soon as he left the room, I went online.
that is the greatest gift he could have given you. He didn't even need to qualify that with anything. He's just like, here you go. You'll figure it out later. That's what I did with my dad. My dad gave me his old AD&D manuals and was like, yeah, all right. And I'm like, oh. My whole career is because he gave me those manuals.
Yeah.
Like, it fucking changed my life forever. So it's funny how, like, something that I am sure both our fathers thought was, like, relatively inconsequential. Like, you know, they're like, yeah, no, it's something cool I want to give to my child. They didn't realize it's like, this is going to be my entire life now.
Because I remember I played a whole bunch of other stuff, like the Hercules Disney game and stuff.
Yeah!
I beat all of that, and I'm like, I'm bored. Do we have any other games? He's like, I bought this in 1999, and I'm never going to play it.
So let's go.
And then I think I rebuilt characters 40 times because I didn't know what D&D was. So I'm like, all right, I'll just play a wizard. And then I'm like, why do I suck?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, all right, so then I'll play a fighter. And I get farther. I'm like, all right, this is doing better. And then I'd find a magic staff. And I'm like, well, this is only for the wizard. So then I'd go back to wizard, or I'd try something else. I think I've tried every single class, and I only ever got through the first 40 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
In terms of its campaign.
That makes sense. I was kind of like that with DDO for the same reason.
When I was a kid, my dad handed me a chainsaw and told me to get out of the room.
Get out of the room?
Yeah. He wanted me to do woodwork.
Oh, hell yeah, okay. Did you not like it? I'm assuming you were too young to be wielding a chainsaw?
No, it was fine. But it was just like I'd be playing video games and he's like, hey, here's a chainsaw. Get the fuck out of your room.
Oh, okay. I like the implication that it's like I gotta get this kid off of video games. The only way I can do it is by bribing him with dangerous power tools.
Yeah, that and an axe.
With potentially destructive.
Oh yeah, very much.
How many trees did you cut down when you were a kid?
He mostly cut them down, and I split them.
Okay.
And I cut down some, but I didn't do really any big ones too much.
I see.
It's mostly that they were already cut down and then split them mostly.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. So I cut like the 7th tree in the yard. Mm-hmm. Then I went to the 10th. I got to 1, 2, 3, and 5 of the tree, like the front yard. And then I skipped the 14th one because who even cuts those?
So
it's too close to the neighbors.
So do you harbor?
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Thank you for contextualizing what the 14th tree was. The 14th tree is too close to the neighbors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you still harbor hate for Arbor then?
Arbor?
Yeah.
Arbor what?
Arbor
these
Days?
nuts?
Arbor hate? Arborate?
Arbor these nuts?
Arborate these nuts? Do you ever arborate? Do you like... Did you ever like... Do you like...
I know...
You lock the door and arborate in the bathroom?
I know Casey I did Neverwinter, but like... Yeah, what were you into Final Fantasy too much? Because it was the Final Fantasy?
I don't remember. I was looking... I think I had gotten
That's a word. Oh my god.
I had gotten those AD&D books, and I was like, I want more fantasy stuff. And I had like a PS1, and I was already at the point where I'm like, I need something like complex. And I think it was I was reading in like a game magazine about Final Fantasy X and all the stuff that goes on like Final Fantasy games. I'm like, this is pretty sick. And then I just started picking them up from there. And they were all pretty cheap because I think my parents were happy because they didn't have to buy me. I mean, they did buy me a good amount of video games, but they didn't have to buy. If they bought me a Final Fantasy, it was like, oh, Final Fantasy VIII, $10, cool. Well, we don't need to buy another video game for 3 months. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because he's just gonna be doing nothing but that. I am sad that they don't. I feel like 13. I loved the 13 trilogy. A lot of people don't, but I loved it. And I thought the story was appropriately grand and jumped the shark. It totally jumped the shark. And the way it ended, I was like, yep, this is a perfect wrap-up. If they wanted to not do any more Final Fantasies, I would have been fine. And I don't plan on playing 15, and I don't plan on playing 16. And I don't plan on playing 7 Remake. I don't even really like 7 that much, so I wasn't planning on playing the 7 Remake. But it looked like the 7 Remake fixed a lot of the problems I had with it. But again, I don't like button mashers very much, you know. So I don't know.
I don't plan on playing any of them.
Yeah,
I don't like games that lie in their title.
Yeah. Oh, and that's a fucking lie. Those games are fucking liars. All
Aren't
right.
they all their own story?
Yep. They are.
That's
well,
what confused me even more. I'm like,
Well, because the first game was the last one they thought they were going to make.
correct. So each one is its own self-contained game. You could give them all different titles if you wanted. The only exceptions is when you have stuff like Final Fantasy X-2 or Final Fantasy 13-2.
Continuations.
And then it's clear that it's like, okay, no, this is the same story, the same world. We're just continuing it. I think the only other exceptions is the Final Fantasy Tactics series, because all of those take place in Ivalice. You don't need to play them all.
mm-hmm.
But 12 is the only mainline Final Fantasy game to take place in Ivalice, and Ivalice is like my favorite setting from all of that. I really wish they would do more with it. Maybe one day, but I don't know. I don't think any of the other ones. I think the Crystal Chronicles ones are also in a self-contained world, but they're all also different enough that you don't need to play them in order or anything like that. Yeah, because it's funny. Because, the numbers go up to 16, but there's like 40 of them.
Yeah,
there's
because
like
the Game
40
Boys.
games. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the Game Boy stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
And-
Game Boy stuff and DS stuff and GameCube stuff.
Even
and
mobile.
Mobile. Then the MMOs, so you have PC stuff, like 11 and 14.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
the newest one is still super popular.
14 is crazy popular. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect, like...
It's
you
probably
know.
one of the top 5 MMOs right now.
I've heard it's like the top.
yeah, it's been fighting with ESO for the top for like 4 years.
Is ESO more popular than WoW?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, WoW. WoW's
Oh, wow!
WoW's been going for a long time. I mean, I remember like 8 years ago, I went like, wow, WoW's dead, isn't it?
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure it has a higher player base, I think. I don't know if more popular. Technically.
yeah,
Yeah.
who knows about ESO?
I don't think there is a more popular game in terms of cultural reference than World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Because, even there hasn't been an MMO that redefines things
Right.
as much as that.
Yeah, it's a slow, like a scientific, like this MMO does this one takes that. So all the other MMOs have been incremental.
Neverwinter Nights was technically the first MMO.
Really?
When
Really?
it was based on AOL and you'd pay by minute to play.
How much per minute?
Oh, I don't know, way too much.
Like $1.50.
But yeah, it was an AOL game before then it was released as an actual PC game in like 1999.
AOL game. I bet you they made out like fucking bandits from that shit.
Yeah.
Oh boy, on dial-up too, I'm imagining.
And then they made the PC games, and all that revenue they expected just went pew, crash. No one cared at all.
Nobody.
Yeah, no one.
Oh man, that's crazy. All this kind of made me remember, because I was just thinking, it's like, wouldn't it be cool if they tried to adapt Ivalice into like a tabletop RPG or some other things to do tabletop RPG? You know, like maybe fucking, I'm sure World of Warcraft, they've probably already done it.
Oh yeah.
But did you see the fucking Dark Souls official RPG that got made using 5e as a base?
No. Oh,
Yeah.
No.
It got kickstarted for a lot of money, and it's bad. There's typos all over the place. There's
Oh.
powers that literally like don't work, because it's like, well, this mechanic works this way and if this works this way because of these things that make me do it, the power just doesn't activate ever for any reason.
Huh.
Like, it is like you've seen. I mean, you guys have seen that it's like making third party 5e shit is like the cash cow right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, but a lot of it works.
I don't know.
I mean, there's the
Does it?
Tomb of Beasts and all that. Usually it's wacky.
I feel
But
like
it
there's some
works.
exceptions. Like, I feel like the mainstays like Kobold Press
That's it,
and,
yeah,
and stuff like
I'm
that. Like, they make great stuff. Sly
I guess
Flourish,
if
you
you're-
know,
yeah,
but
if it's-
like,
Outside of Cobalt Press, then yeah, it's probably pretty freaking janky.
it just I remember I deleted my Twitter account again, finally. Maybe I'm free this time, who knows? But it's like my soul is shackled to that damn bird. Elon Musk, it's like a phylactery thing. It's like I gotta destroy Elon Musk's Horcruxes so I can finally leave the internet.
Good for
but,
now.
For now. But when I was on there, people were talking about how, like, because there's a lot of indie TTRPG stuff on there, and most indie TTRPGs are dog shit, but they're also saying that it's like if you want to make money in the TTRPG industry at all, you have to make stuff for 5e. That's it, period. It's just not going to sell otherwise. And all that's also dog shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's sad that like, because when I'm sure the complaint was the same when third edition had the OGL, which did revitalize the industry. It did have a lot, but like now it's like I think even more obvious because it's like we don't need something like the OGL to make RPGs anymore. Like at the time, the OGL for 30, that the RPGs as we know it today would not exist. TSR would have just kind of puttered out, and there would have been some more like Call of Cthulhu or GURPS hold-ons, and then that would have been it. But now it's like there isn't really much of a reason to write stuff for 5e unless you're making money for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Like it's like I wish people would like.
Well,
make
especially
more their own
something like
shit,
Dark
you know?
Souls. Like, just the fundamentals of how 5th edition works doesn't fit how Dark Souls needs to be played.
Like it's
Right.
to have an
forgiving.
evocative experience.
Yeah.
A lot of these companies are only licensing shit out for 5e because it's the one that they know can sell. Modifius is the only one that's fucking holding the line because, you know, everything they're releasing under 2D20 is maybe it's not perfect, but it's really good.
I mean,
know?
even 2D20 for Dark Souls. Every melee attack, you have a reactive roll that you could do.
Right.
That fits more how Dark Souls actually plays.
Reset threat at a bonfire. Something like that.
Yeah.
Boom. It's easy.
Oh my goodness.
2D20 is people should be writing for 2D fucking 20.
Yeah.
Is what they should be doing.
Really should.
Because they've done a really great job with every IP they've got. It's just a shame that it's like, I don't know. I just wish. I mean, I'm not saying anything new. I just wish D&D didn't have such a stranglehold on the market. You know.
Yeah.
Especially with what they do with it, where it's like we put out a splat book once every 3 months and maybe it's good.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe.
What's coming out next?
Well, now when they release a book, they cancel 2 others.
What they cancel?
Did you know that?
No.
Volo's Guide to Monsters and Xanathar's are
Oh,
not official books anymore. They're no longer supported.
I remember watching. Oh god damn it! What the fuck are they called? It's two guys. They do an RPG podcast. One of the only other RPG podcasts I write. I know I've mentioned them before. I'm gonna look them up. But they were talking about how, like, because they do the thing where they like all get their stuff through D&D Beyond, and already they have this problem where when you buy the physical book, it doesn't have a PDF code. It doesn't even have a code for D&D Beyond. So you have to buy the book pretty much at full price again on D&D Beyond.
Yep.
And then they went, oh, yeah, these are like legacy content now, so you can't really use the virtual books with anything, and we're not going to sell them ever again. And if you don't have the physical book, tough shit. And it's just like, really? You're really going to fucking do that? Industry standard everywhere else except Wizards of the fucking Coast is when you sell a physical copy, it comes with a PDF. That is fucking standard.
That's what I was telling Ben. I was like,
Yeah.
what that used to be the thing, and like, how could you?
Everyone does that.
It's a PDF.
Yes.
How?
Because they don't want to get pirated, as if they're not already pirating scans anyway. As if I already don't own a scan of every fucking D&D book. You know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't make any sense. It's old hats.
It is big time old hat shit. And that is infuriating. That is absolutely fucking infuriating that now it's like, oh, you bought this. If it goes to show why you shouldn't buy products with DRM in it, it's just like, oh, yeah, you know, we decide you don't own this anymore, even though you paid like full price for it, and it might feasibly be your only access to this book because we're going to stop printing this shit at some point. And now I'm sure copies of Volos are going to be worth $1 gazillion.
Yeah.
Because it's like the thing that doesn't exist anymore. That is infuriating.
Xanathar's was already like $250 before they did that.
Really?
Yeah. Forgetting the collector's edition, but even I think the base book was more expensive because it's not carried in stores anymore.
They're not very good books, so I wouldn't.
No, they're not great either.
They're not
well made.
When is the last time? The only books that I can think of. Here are the good 5th edition books I can think of. Out of the Abyss, love that campaign, fucking incredible. The Eberron book,
Yeah.
incredible. The Ravenloft book, incredible. And that's it. I can't think of anything else good. And those are books that, like, I'm talking about good as in they wowed me. They were like, yo, like, I still own copies of these books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the rest I got rid of. It's like, So for them to do a slow and mediocre release schedule and then add insult to injury by not giving you electronic copies and then actually take books back, takesy backsies, but I'm keeping your money though, is insane to me. It's absolutely insane to me.
It's pretty bad practice.
The Dungeon Crawl. Those are the guys I listen to. And I listen to them even more now that they started playing Pathfinder.
Word out to the Dungeon Crawl.
The Dungeon Crawl. Have us on as guests.
Whoa, that's a little presumptuous.
Five-person podcast, and we all talk about, like...
Yeah.
We go around the table.
We walk in, and we say on mic, wow, these guys could kick our ass.
No, yeah, they could fucking kick our ass.
I would
Here, let me...
See... I don't have to gauge that because I could just take the base assumption that at any room I walk into, they can kick my ass.
You'd be surprised.
What if I just played an entire episode of the podcast on?
Oh God.
Yeah, look, dude, this where I pause it, they look like they're about to kick our ass. Look, they're coming. He's like, what the fuck did he just say? Yeah? Which one whose ass do you think you can kick? Both? By yourself?
Yeah.
You know I'm watching this on the podcast YouTube channel right now, right?
Yeah.
Like I can just comment that Matt thinks he can kick both of your asses.
Nice.
What am I gonna do? A YouTube boxing?
Yeah, let's get on.
Yeah, come box with me, dude. Let's go. Let's fucking do it. Creator class. They get the tag team and you don't.
What, like in 10 years when there's any audience?
Any audience?
Yeah.
Oh, for this podcast?
Yeah.
Not even in 10 years.
Creator clash, but for people that literally nobody knows.
Yeah.
The 3 billion.
The creators of the thing, the showrunners or whatever, the promoters, they go on YouTube and are like, all right, well, we already sorted by most subscribers. What if we inverted the filter? Oh, the wrong room. Cool. Let's bring those guys on. Like,
Dungeon Crawl to be hyped for nobody knows.
For nobody.
Yeah.
Dungeon Crawl only has 238 subscribers. That's no. Come on.
Whoa.
I didn't realize they were still that small. Their stuff's really good. I really like their stuff. I should comment on more of their videos. I should upload our stuff back up to YouTube.
Upload it in their comments.
Every comments box, I'm just gonna spam links, and when they're like, "Hey man, that's not cool," that's what it'll be like. Matt thinks he can kick your asses. 2-1, 2-1. No, I seriously, they're really fucking. They are the only other. I've tried to listen to so many other RPG podcasts, and theirs is the only one that I listen to. It's consistently good. Them?
I'll be right back.
No.
Talk about Dragon Ball Z if you care.
Well, we are gonna. We'll wait. We'll start a new episode when you come back. But no. It's like I don't always agree with them, but they're just cool guys.
What about them?
They're very for all the opposite reasons I like this podcast. Whereas this podcast, we just kind of say whatever we want and do whatever we want or whatever. They have a bit of a structure. They're very intellectual about it. They like give, I wouldn't say like intellectual, but like it's a good measured discussion. Their voices sound good.
Yeah.
Like they have good candor. They don't make fun of each other or threaten other podcasters.
Weird.
Or say things that need to get censored or anything like that.
That's on you, boo.
It's on me this time because it's a name. It's a name.
Yeah. I mean, because they're playing Pathfinder now, V2.
They are playing. I'm very excited because I've been I was watching when they started getting into Pathfinder 2, and then them kind of discovering Pathfinder and the reasons why they prefer it to 5th edition, or the reasons why they don't prefer it to 5th edition, like the changes that they like and they don't like and stuff. It was like really cool to get that perspective because I love Pathfinder 2nd edition, and it's.
It's probably because it just feels new now, and 5th is just wants to. It's like 5th is like Spider-Man stopping the train. But Wizard of the Coast is Spider-Man, and the train is what should be content. That's what it feels like to be playing 5th.
It is, because Paizo does everything. Like, 5th edition barely has a crafting system. Pathfinder has a great crafting system. Paizo's constantly coming out with fucking content, with fucking bangers.
Yeah, they're always good about that.
They're so good. I would love to run more of it. It's just I don't think I'm up to GMing a game like that again. It's like there's something about And I will fully admit that it's like there's something about the types of games that expect like encounter balance and have levels, and it's like D&D. I don't think I would be able to meaningfully GM another like 5th edition game.
Yeah.
And I would love to run 4th edition again. But I don't even think I can GM a meaningful game of that. I think it's just kind of out of my wheelhouse now.
Yeah.
Vampire though, I've been enjoying running that, and then track marks of course, but that's getting done. I actually want to talk about track marks a little bit next podcast. I think that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's agree.